story, Foreign Affairs Ministry has hinted of plans of phasing out birth certificates as a source document in the acquisition of a passport. This follows a Supreme Court ruling rejecting birth certificates as proof of identification. The document is currently used as a proof of citizenship in application for Ghanaian passports, but the Apex Court compares it to the NHIA card, which it rejected prior to the 2016 election, and concluded the birth certificate is actually worse. This was contained in the full written judgment of the court in a case filed by the opposition NDC and the private citizen Mark Tichi Branson. The court on June 25 dismissed the request to stop the AC from compiling the new register of voters or allow the use of birth certificates and the current voter's ID card. As you know, the court deferred its written judgment to July 15. We have secured a copy, and this is a summary of the judgment. And it says opposition NDC had wanted the existing voters card used for the registration. Private citizen Mark Tichi Branson wanted the birth certificate to be allowed as proof of citizenship. He also wanted the court to hold that the EC has a power to only compile a register of voters once the then compiled it from the old register. The case was heard by Chief Justice Kwesi Ninieboa, Justice Jones Doche, Bafo Boni, Sule Gbadegbe, Mafo Seau, Nene Amegache, and Professor Ashikote. And the decision is a unanimous one. EC has power to compile new register, and there's also exclusion of current voters card as valid. A birth certificate is not a form of identification. It does not establish the identity of the bearer, nor does it link holder with the information on the certificate. Quite obviously, it provides no evidence of citizenship. But Dean of the University of Professional Studies, a Faculty of Law, Ernest Kofi Abochi, says the Supreme Court's decision will have dire consequences for some state institutions, adding the decision is quite problematic.
The decision is rooted in pragmatism, the decision itself. So this is a decision whose outcome may appear to be informed by pragmatic considerations. When the original voters registration was adopted, indeed when the Constitution was adopted, I don't think the framers contemplated that a time will come where forensic and biometric registration may be invented, or so to speak, and may justify or necessitate and render outmoded a previous register that may have been adopted. I don't think that was, and I think therefore that may have been overtaken by time, which has created the situation we have today. But the reasons that were contained in the decision, the reasons that have been given by the court, some of them are a bit difficult to rationalize with the greatest respect to the justices. And the birth certificate has been accepted for a number of reasons. I mean, for all kinds of things. You cannot get a passport of Ghana unless you have a birth certificate. So if you can be given a passport which is recognized as one of the modes, and the originating point of a passport usually is the birth certificate. But the passport as the end product can be accepted. However, the birth certificate, which indicates your lineage. In fact, if you look under the Constitution, the factors of citizenship, the birth certificate contains those factors. The issue of birth, the place of birth, the issue of the parentage. All these are contained in the birth certificate. So the decision is what it is, and at the moment, it is the law of the land. But the rational decisions and the rational reasons that have been advanced for them, again, with the greatest respect to the justices, some of them are difficult to justify, so to speak.
Meanwhile, the Foreign Affairs Ministry says it will soon phase out birth certificates as a requirement to get passport. Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration Habib Tijani says very soon Ghana card will be the requirement for a passport.
What we are doing is that the birth certificate is not the only document that we use. It is part of a number of evidences that we use to properly identify somebody as a Ghanaian. Besides that, it is anticipated that within this short period, every Ghanaian will have a Ghana card, and we are working towards linking the Ghana card to passport acquisition, saying that whoever has a Ghana card is supposedly a Ghanaian, and it will not be difficult for us to even process passports because every information that we need to issue a passport to someone is almost the same information that the Ghana card has. So for some of us, or for the ministry, we would very soon be relying on the Ghana card for processing of passports. That is why we also take part in encouraging Ghanaians to have their Ghana card.
Does this mean that the ministry would be phasing out birth certificate as a source document for registration for
at the appropriate time? We will do that because we would be hooked to the Ghana card.
What would this then mean for Ghanaians that, their only source document is birth certificate?
It is worth noting that Ghana card is supposed to be issued to every Ghanaian, wherever one finds oneself. This therefore shows that even at any part of the country, Ghana card, where people are, there will be the process of issuing out Ghana cards to people. Our only hope is that the process will speed up and every Ghanaian will have the Ghana card.